Coach, you've had a couple weeks now to be with the team, be in the gym. What's the vibe now versus the first day of practice?
The vibe is still really high energy. We have a lot of new pieces, but being together for 2 weeks, we had 2 scrimmages. I think it was really good to go up on the road at Baylor. But in general, new pieces, but it feels like they're gelling. I mean, we saw in the summer, and it was cool just to see 5 freshmen, 5 transfers, and then the returners having such a big draw to each other. But this is fun. Now we're competing, so, there's always that extra little energy spark going. Especially being home in front of the 12 man. We're excited to be back.
Did you foresee coming into this season that there was going to have to be a lot of using the transfer portal, a lot of bringing some people in and filling some pieces like y'all were able to do, or is that a little bit more of a later on, okay, we need to make this happen?
I think a mix of both. We knew this was a big class coming in, and we graduated 8, so we just picked up kids that we think would give us depth and make us competitive. So it was both. But nothing too crazy. We knew we had a big freshman class coming in, and we graduated 8, so you have to kind of figure that out.
Mm-hmm. You lose a decent amount of your kills, points per set. Where have you seen some of those points coming from so far in the new folks?
We have a lot of new players, so you're going to have to develop that. Obviously, we're replacing 2 solid middles, but at pins, we need to have pins that can terminate. Same with middles. Having a balanced offense is still our goal. But I would say freshmen and transfers, but even our returners, Maddie Bowser has been solid in the middle. So that's been huge. And the setting is competitive. You know what I mean? We have 2 really good setters running the offense. So I think the biggest piece for us is that competitive nature in the gym. It's a constant battle for all of those positions. And we've seen people step up. We have strong pins, but we also are seeing battles in the bro position and the middles, setters. Like I said, it's fun to see the competitiveness in the gym.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time y'all are having to replace a center because of how long Camille has been here. Is that kind of like bringing in a new quarterback a little bit, or with the amount of influence she has on each play?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime you're replacing a significant leader, an impact player, the setter is the quarterback, just like a bro is the quarterback who's back row. It is, but in the spring that also evolves. You know what I mean? It's for the public and for people watching, it's like, oh my gosh, it's new. But for us, it's been, a good 6-8 months. So it is different, but now it's like we're all settling in, and we brought in, it's just bringing in new people and competing.
What did you see in the exhibition match against Baylor that you're looking to carry into the Invitational this weekend?
The one thing that you develop when you're on the road is seeing how a group is going to compete and how they're going to fight together. And I think going on the road and then playing just in that environment and seeing them, for us, even the warm-up, we're like, oh, this is the first time this group has collectively all played together. You know what I mean? So even for them, it's new, but the response was awesome. You're going to sense the energy and the urgency and just the way this group competes together. It's so fun. And we've tried a lot of people. We mixed up the lineup. So now it's settling in and figuring out this week, like, what is our go-to, and really cleaning up some things.
You have 3 good teams coming in this weekend. Do you think it's going to be a good test to start the season for you guys?
For sure. Opening weekend, we're so excited to be home in front of the 12th man, but we also set it up. These are 3 really good opponents, but every match is important. And we talk to our team about that all the time. Every match is important. But to have the competition that we have coming in here to College Station, to Aggieland, it's huge for this group. So I'm excited about this weekend.
Generally, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know a couple weeks ago you talked about, kind of the excitement of being one of the only teams on campus, just in terms of practicing, getting locked in. Do you feel like your girls get sort of a layer of excitement being one of the first teams in action, just in general, for all the new students coming in for another year, just to kind of first team they can really get behind, one of the first?
Yeah, we talk about setting the tone with the way we compete, setting the tone just with the energy we bring. But I think that's a good point. We need to set the tone for kicking off the new year. There's a lot of energy. There's fish camps that have been going on through here, but the new student orientations, like the traditions night tonight. So there's tons of fresh energy. I think it is. It's exciting for our group to be a part of that and kind of be on display here at Reed. So they're excited about that.
Generally speaking, when you do look at just who you're going to put in at setter, what is it that you look for in a setter?
Well, number one, the intangibles, which I think both of these kids have it, Lisa and Elle. But the connection, you know what I mean? across the boards, we want to balance offense, and we're looking for connection. And that's rhythm of offense, but it's also communication with the passers, communication with your attackers. So it's all those little things, but at the end of the day, it's going to be who's executing at the highest level.
Out of the newcomers, has there been anybody that's really stood out or maybe even surprised you?
I don't think anything has been surprising. I think the surprise is the meshing and the chemistry of this group is so cool. It's so cool to see a fifth-year senior coming in and just hanging out with the freshmen and just that connection because they're all new. So it's like there might be age gaps, but they're all new and they're going through the same things, and it's like bringing them together. I think that is the coolest part as coaches, and to see this group and how they genuinely just enjoy being together. That you guys will see us when we play. We have freshmen, we have every freshman, seniors, fifth-year seniors, juniors, sophomores. Like there is a mix of ages and experience out there, and that is what's cool to see, is the way that they're connecting and just competing together.
All of your transfers come from outside the SEC. Have they brought a different style of play that the girls who are used to SEC play may have not seen before?
That's a good question. I think they all have brought their own style. I don't even know if it's from the conference they are coming from, and it's funny because we always talk about personality and the personality you bring. There is a ton of different personality, but I think the mix of it is what's making it special. And yeah, I mean, maybe it's conference, but I also just think it's their mindsets and where they've come from. But to bring in their experience, whether it's from the program or the conference or whatever it is, and them sharing those things, I mean, that's instantly giving more to this program and this team. And it's nothing but positive energy and things to learn from and things to use in our favor as experiences. So that's been the coolest thing, is just them bringing their experience in here.
What's the message going into this weekend for the team?
It's we set the tone and we control the momentum, the energy, and that's what we always talk about. The response to whether it's adversity, competing, but we have to set the tone and control our side, because we have everything we need.
Thanks for
Thanks, Jacob.